and I'm live, and I have a dog hair in my right eye. So we'll see how this show goes. All right. All right, guys. I'm slowly trying to get a little groove. I already did my call to action on IG. So I am all yours. I am all yours. Happy Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. This is Niki with Homeschool Knockouts. And I hope your Friday's going really well. And if it hasn't, or it hadn't, or you're still in the thick of it, may the force be with you. So, as you can see from the scroll down below, I don't have anything planned to talk about today. But luckily, I was born with the gift of gab, so I can talk about anything. But I really want to hear from you guys if there's anything you want to talk about. If there's anything pressing down in your heart, on your soul, in your mind, or are you procrastinating and you need to do something, but you just want to sit here and listen to me talk so you don't have to do something? Let me know. Oh my gosh, this dog hair is going to, and it's the underbelly of the dog, you know, where it's really fine and like light colored. That's okay. We shall persevere. Okay, so I want to tell you guys what's going on. I really do. I'm such a blabbermouth, but I can't. Suffice it to say, I've been bootlegging these Friday lives for the last few weeks just so I can stay active with you guys. But just know, last April or March of 2022, I think I did my last scheduled video, my pre-recorded video, and then everything else I just went live. Let me just say there was a reason why I did that. And in May, you will find out the reason why I stopped doing recorded videos and why I just did live sporadically, things like that. So things on my end. Oh, hold on. I forgot everything. Y'all know how we do. Don't worry. The Friday night lives and all that, that's coming back. The whole shebang with the baguette and the elephant, the stuff that my kids ganked from my my diva den, all that's coming back. I got y'all. It's all coming back. But in the meantime, you guys know how we do. When you come on in, please let us know where in the cosmos you are coming from. That helps to build tribes, and it helps to let other people know, hey, I remember so-and-so, she's in Georgia. And maybe when you see the names in the comment sections or during the live, you can go click on their profile. And if they have a channel or just a presence, they don't have to put content up, but just something. And you can say, hey, you know, I noticed you live in Georgia. There's this bill that's being passed. What do you about homeschooling? What do you think about it? Or, hey, have you heard of this co-op in Georgia? I don't know where you are, but have you heard of it? So just slowly just building your tribe, okay? So we like to start off by just saying where you come from. You can list your city, your state, your hemisphere, your country, you know, your state of mind, whatever, all right? The second thing we like to do is we like to start off with wins. I am a firm believer in the Marva Collins philosophy, and I am a firm believer in the Atomic Habits practice by James Clear. And that is 1% a day. That's all you have to do. That's why I like to do small wins, little wins. I don't ask you for big wins. I ask you for little wins. And the reason why I like for you to put it out there is so other people can start to understand what these wins look like. Okay, we're conditioned to think everything has to be big and loud and in your face. And you know what my win was? One of my wins was I actually put on some lipstick. I took my raggedy nail polish off. Look how busted my nails are. Every nail broken because I've been gardening early in the morning and then working on my project. So I haven't had time to do anything. Bun. My hair's been in the bun for about a year. Y'all know I used to have all my hair all over the place. Bun. Okay. My win is I was able to put some lipstick on before I came in on here and a little bit of mascara. So that's my win. That's my personal win. So come on in. Let us know where you are. And then let us know if you have any wins. And if you can't think of anything right now, if your hands aren't free, throughout this live, you can go ahead, put your win in. Sometimes it takes one person to get it going, and then everybody else follows suit. So who do we have in the chat so far? Supreme Garden. Oh my goodness. I'm going to have to check out your channel. Y'all know I'm a gardener. And shout out to a lot of you who have come over and supported my other channel, which is the Messy Homesteader, where I just encourage you to just start your journey. And I love to garden. So anyone who is a gardener, I am automatically going to check you out. So Supreme, what is that? Family Garden. So you got the whole family in it, Supreme. Let's check you out. Ooh, look at that. Okay, I'm subscribed. Wait, I'm subscribed on my other account on YouTube. So you're going to see 2 accounts. You're going to have 2 new subscribers today. So let me log in. I should be logged in on my homeschool channel, but I have my incognito YouTube account. So I'll be hold on, because if I don't do it now, I will forget. So y'all come on in. Come on in. There you go. Thank you, Supreme. Who do we got here? Michelle B. Michelle. All right. So what's going on here? Oh, okay. Because I'm seeing myself live on my phone, which I never do. So y'all excuse me. Okay, I'm still technically challenged. Michelle says fireflies for my daughter here. Oh, Michelle, I just saw you on IG. I saw your name on IG. Thank you for coming over, sweetheart. Small win. Uh-oh. Wait, hold on. Let me push subscribe. Y'all go if y'all are into gardening, go hit Supreme Family Garden. Support everybody. All right. Okay. Michelle, she says, all meals prepared for the kids. Boom. That's just the win right there. But I think you have some more wins coming up. Small win. All meals prepared for the kids ahead today. In Cali, like me, but moving to Georgia. Oh, but that's the state of the Bulldogs, so that's good. Oh, Michelle, I don't know if you garden. Or homestead, but there is a huge community in Georgia. Second year. But let me give you a win on getting out of Cali. I know this bell is so obnoxious. Second year homeschooler. All right, you survived the first year and you decided you're gonna keep at it. That was a decision that she made. That's a win. She's got 3 wins under her belt so far. And looking for open and go, similar to the good and the beautiful. Now, why is that a win? Because she started homeschooling and she was looking at her curriculum and her teaching style. And evidently she's like, I don't need some teacher intensive 20-minute prep before I have to teach the lesson. I need something I can just grab. I should always bring some curriculum here with me. I can just grab. Here, I'll grab my herbal book. Pretend like it's a Saxon math. I just need to grab it. Say, now let's go, kids. You need to open and go. So those are wins, guys. Those are wins that I'm talking about. The rambling homemaker. Ooh, I wonder if you can. Do you do any candy, homemaker? Hey there. I put 60 pounds of rice in buckets and swept my whole downstairs. Hold on, where's my bill? Now, I gotta weigh this. Now, 60 pounds of rice in buckets, that's huge because you're prepping, you're preparing for your family. And if you are a prepper, the rambling homemaker, check out my other YouTube channel, The Messy Homesteader, because I don't do a lot of videos on my prepping because I got to keep the incognito because so many people live around me. But okay, 60 pounds of rice. That's a lot of bags, y'all. But I don't care how big or small your downstairs is. I hate sweeping. So even if you just swept the bath mat, which is hard to do, that's a win. So it's like 60 pounds of rice for the family, food. Sweep the downstairs. So to me, that's a huge win. So you guys put some hand claps in the chat when we read these wins, okay? Because sometimes you might have had a hard week and no one said anything nice to you. Your mama, your sister, your friends, your kids, your neighbor. Nobody said nothing nice to you. And on Friday, I want you to come here and have a place where you can just unload what's going on and feel appreciated with some of the things that you're doing that go unnoticed during the week with the people that are in your lives. Okay. You know, we get, as moms, as educators, that's a double duty of neglect. We're neglected and looked down upon as moms and as educators. So those are the two professions that should be the highest paid, but get peanuts. So moving on. You're welcome, Michelle. The rambling homemaker. You do pressure can. Okay, I'm gonna have to follow your. Do you have a channel? I do pressure can. I'm going to use your fermented. Oh, and you've been on my website. I mean, my YouTube channel, my other YouTube channel. I love you. I'm going to use your fermented garlic and honey recipe very soon. Listen, I'm glad you said that because I have to make a new batch because I have the mama jar batch, and then I make the little smaller ones. Now, y'all know my son, he's got nasal polyps, which we've been fighting forever. We got one strong, but we still have to get the others, like a cluster of grapes, and trying to avoid surgery. And we've been on it. I've been on it because if you notice, I've been kind of doing some hacking during my last couple of lives, and I've been having some mucus, nothing yellow or yucky, but just some residual mucus because I was sick. I think last month, something that just came on, boom, and was gone, but I knocked it out in like 2 days. But the mucus is still in me, so I'm still coughing up little batches here and there. So, but the honey garlic has been really, really helpful. All right, so as you see from the crawl on the bottom third of the screen, it's a homeschool Q&A because I didn't plan anything. As you see, I have no thumbnail. I'm rambling and I don't have anything to talk about, but I wanted to be here for you guys. So we can turn this into a general Q&A where you just throw me some questions. Now, you know, I like to go in depth with my questions. So, you know, I could get 5 questions and spend an hour talking about that. We could do that. Or I was thinking for a future subject, for a future topic, talking about finishing your homeschool strong. Okay, y'all. I should have brought that honey garlic up, but I got my turmeric tea and no yellow teeth. You can drink turmeric tea with like a real turmeric without the straw. And the trick is you have to add some fat in there. Either some MCT oil or some heavy whipping cream if you're into dairy, or something else, but it doesn't stain my teeth. All right, so listen. Wait, what was I saying? Y'all, what was I saying? I got the memory of a gnat. Oh, finishing strong. Okay. Like I didn't do with that last sentence. So finishing strong. So so that's what I want to do, because what happens is we get I know where I was going with this. This is the finish line. Say you decided that the end of your school year, just picking a number out my head, June 15th. I don't know. I just said June 15th. Was that Father's Day? It might even be a Sunday. But whatever it is, say June 15th. This is June 15th. Let me scoop back so y'all can see. This is June 15th right here. Just waiting your day of victory. Just wait, or armistice or whatever. Just June 15th. And here is April. No, here is May 15th. Probably Mother's Day weekend. And you got just enough energy crawling day by day. Sometimes that whole week takes you, to get through the whole week takes you about 12 days to get through the whole week. But you steady getting there, and just when you're about to touch June 15th, maybe it's June 13th, June 12th, real close to June 15th, some apocalypse happens. Your kid, it's like maybe you're giving them some kind of assessment just to see how they're doing in math or in writing, or you're like, you know what, let's just plan to have something really nice to do to wind down for the school year. And just before you get to that day where you're calling it a wrap, your child forgot how to add. The other child couldn't remember the difference between a comma and a semicolon. The other child, ADHD then gone off the roof, and it was just been fine for the last 2 months. You get all these little fires popping up. Now, let me tell you what happens. Oh my goodness. I'm going to have to start doing some story times. Let me tell you. There's this project I'm working on. I know y'all tired of me talking about it. There's a project I'm working on. And just when I get into grooves, where I'm really just banging stuff out, and I'm eating right now. I've put on 17 pounds since last year because I'm up at night doing my stuff and I'm like snacking. Oh, I took it out. Oh, it was good. But y'all, I still have crumbs. But I mean, stuff like this that I don't eat. This is all in my snack drawer when I'm working late at night. So I'm doing all that. But when I'm not, and I'm like having my apple cider vinegar in the morning, my beauty tea, and I'm eating well, and I'm getting up in the morning, going to the gym, working in the garden, getting my work done. That's when everybody and their mama that you ain't talked to in a long time, that's when they come in to bother you. Like I had my best friend from college. Hope she's not watching this. She called me out the blue. And no. She just texted me and she just said, call me. So I called her because I'm thinking she never really talks to me. And if she says, call me, I'm thinking, oh my God, something must be wrong with her family members, or her own kids. So I call, and this was like, a month or so, whatever ago. And I'm like, hey, so-and-so, everything okay? Yeah, everything's fine. And I said, okay, in my mind, self, back away from this conversation, because whenever I talk to her, I always get off the phone feeling used and my energy is drained. And so I said, right when I'm in a good groove, I get this text from her, call me. And I'm like, okay, let me see what I got to do. I got to get to Houston or whatever, because even though we don't really talk, we're not like that anymore. I still love her and I care for her and her family, and I'll do anything for her. I had to back off away from that before that conversation started. So whenever, like when you're homeschooling, you're doing well, or you have small wins, or let's just say you're not doing well, but you're not doing bad. You're in the middle, which is good, and that's a win. That's when things creep in to take you off your path, right? That's when your mama calls, baby, your sister, she didn't make her rent this week and she need a place to stay. Or the tax bill is due. All these things start to come in, and next thing you know, when you're trying to get to June 15th, you got all these things just pulling you further back and making you all kind of like just chaotic and not wanting to finish strong. So all of that to say, when you're trying to finish strong with your homeschooling, that's when you have to be more focused and diligent. Not because, the lessons are getting easier, or in your textbook, you can tell that the textbook is winding down. No, that's when you have to be even more focused. So at the end, the taste of homeschooling for that year is good. It's yummy. It's nice and lingering versus something bitter and sour that has your face in your mouth like this. I'm glad we finished, Mom. Versus, oh, Mom, we're finished, but I can't wait to start next year. That's the kind of response that you want. So all of that to say, you want to finish strong. So I think what the video will be, I think the topic for next week should be how to finish strong with your homeschool. And I'll give you some activities, some things to do, some ways to check in to see, okay, where are we now? And what's important to finish and what's not important to finish. As a matter of fact, this might be the topic right now. Depending on what kind of homeschooling philosophy you use in your household, whether it's eclectic, Charlotte Mason, unschooling, classical, world schooling, unit studies, whatever, you have something that you're using to teach your child, okay? Whatever it is. Now, with that, you have to take whatever that material, whatever that resource is, you need to look at it. If you don't use any kind of materials, and maybe if you're an unschooler or a game schooler or a world schooler, and you plan activities or events or things like that, things will be slightly different, but the concept is still the same. So when you're trailing off because you want to end on a high note, but you still want to just ease it down. It's like when you're starting a diet or when you're going on a fast. You don't just say, okay, day 0, I'm gonna have some steak, I'm gonna have some fat burger and some cheesecake, and then on day 1 you just start your fast with eating nothing. That's a recipe for disaster, and it's not good for your body. So your body needs a transition. So the first couple days, you might just eat raw foods, and then you start bringing in maybe liquid foods like broths or smoothies or teas or things like that. And then you go on. Then like after that week, now your body's prepped and primed to start, like say, a 7-day water fast or something like that. I'm talking about from my own experience. So I've done it both ways, and believe me, you want to transition so you can be successful. So you transition onto something and then you transition off to something. So right now, depending on where you are with your textbook and depending on when you finish homeschool, whether you homeschool year long or if you homeschool 2 months on, 1 month off, whatever your get up is, it still applies. So take that curriculum and you look at it. Sorry, guys. And I was trying to get into my tea. You take that curriculum and you look at it. And realistically, let me just find some curriculum. Realistically, I got a whole bunch here, but I do have this. All right, not like a meat and potatoes curriculum, but this is still something. Now, you are in chapter. What chapter is this? Let me see. Say there are. All right, this looks like it might have like 15 chapters. All right, say it has 15 chapters. You're on chapter 4 in the book. You got, let me make it dramatic. You've done this much so far, and you got this much left. You got this much left to go, and you got 2 months left of school. This ain't gonna get you to the end of the school year. But you know what you're going to do? Okay, we got to double up. Let's do, now before they were doing half a page a day. They were doing half a page a day. Now you like 2 to 3 pages a day, right? So now things were fine. You know, they were just doing their half a page and then moving on to something else. And now you feel, we have this arbitrary date where school has to be finished June 15th. So let's double up. Don't do that. Don't do that. Let me tell you why. Because I've done that. As a matter of fact, now when I tell you stories, most times I'm pulling from truth in my household. Now with my kids editing, you see I have the proof editing. And we use 2 different curriculums for this. I wasn't checking on it every day. I'm like, yeah, they're good. It's real easy. They get up in the morning. That's the first thing they have to do and knock it out. So they've been doing it for about a couple of weeks. So I'm like, okay, they're good. They're conditioned now to pop it open and do the work. Y'all, always checking on your kids. So I tell my middle son, bring me your proofreading so I can check it. He brings it in like an hour later. Now I'm out here typing and doing stuff, so he knows he can get away. So he brings it in an hour later, and he looked guilty. My son the middle one, he cannot lie to save his life. Thank goodness. So I looked at it. I'm like, what's going on? So I opened the book, and I'm looking at the dates. And my son likes to use those friction color pens, and he likes one specific color. Well, evidently that color ran out. But usually he'll come to me, or he'll go to the supplies drawer and grab something, which he didn't do because he wasn't working in the book. So he's always in like this navy or purple color. So I look at it and it's in orange. I'm like, why is all this in orange? So he's trying to like, do a whole bunch of them, just have all these different dates on it. I said, but why are you writing orange? Oh, I just wanted to write into a different color. And then he looked at me like, Mom, I'm lying. In his face, he said, Mom, I'm lying. So he didn't do the work, and I wasn't following up on him. Now, what did I tell him? What do you think I told my son? All right, you're going to have to do 5 pages. That's what I told him. I said, you need to do 5 pages a day because you have about 4 weeks that you haven't done anything. So 5 pages a day to catch up. 5 pages is 1 week. So 5 pages a day. So this week you can catch up. Because I wanted this to be done, not this specific curriculum or book. I wanted it to be done because for me, if you work at home, if you're a single parent, if you take care of elderly people or really young kids, you just have other things pulling you in different directions. You need that cutoff point where school is over. Okay. And that's me right now. I need that cutoff point. So I am still going to have him finish because he didn't do it. But for you, if you maybe started your program, say a couple weeks ago, or, in January, and maybe you're only able to get to it once a week or twice a week, so you're not done with your textbook, you don't have to speed up or double up. Okay. Now, these are a couple of things that you can do just so you can finish strong. Now, my only reservation is if it's math, only because math, it builds up. You got to stay. You don't really want to double up on math. You really want to make sure those foundations are solid, absolutely solid. So for math, unless your kid is doing like an online class and they have their own pace or whatever, that's fine. You have your pace with your child, whether you have to supplement, get them on Khan, but all that doubling up can really backfire on you. So stay where you are. If you are on page 7 and it's 150 pages left, you have some choices. One, you can just do a little bit during this. I know your kids are not going to want to hear this, but it is what it is. You can, if you want to, because you are the mom or the parent. Oh my goodness. You can pick the most essential subject. Don't give them a whole bunch of subjects. The most essential subject, or the subject that they are the weakest in. And you say, okay, so whenever you get up, first thing in the morning or right before you go to bed, preferably in the morning, so it's done with it. They don't have to think about it throughout the day. You do 10 minutes of this. Okay. Just build that stamina and that memory. Okay. This is so they get used to doing that. And then also I'm still working this up here. So they're not having that summer school or that summer slide in their skills. And I'm saying this only for math. Okay. Everything else, you can stop what you're doing if you have this date that you need to stop. Now, does that mean you do nothing during the summer? If that's your get up, that's your get up. Pick up where you left off in August or September. It's kind of like called a loop schedule where, I think I did a video on this and I took it down. A loop schedule is you have, say there's a lot of subjects you want to cover. Your eyes are bigger than your stomach, that kind of situation. So you just do all those subjects, and whatever you finished, whatever subject you finish on that day, the next day you do that next subject that was in the queue. So you get all those subjects done, but it might mean maybe 1 or 2 subjects is only hit on twice a week or something like that because you have a lot of subjects. Well, that's looking at it short term in your day to day. Long term, you take what you finished in June, I'm just saying June, and then bookmark it. Come August or September, whenever you start school, pick up from there. Now, what if you're not the teacher for a subject that your child is doing that in? That's where you have them do the 10 minutes a day, okay? Just to kind of keep them going, okay? Or if they have a weakness, just to kind of keep them going and afloat until you get to when the school year starts. And listen, for the last 2 years, I've had my youngest son in 2 math classes, okay? And I'll talk about that in another video. It's okay. Sometimes you have to be unorthodox with your approach to schooling, okay? You can do that because you're a homeschooler. Your child, say we're talking about math, right? Your child is in an online math class or an in-person math class. You're not teaching math, right? But your child is on chapter 6 out of chapter 17. So you do that a little bit during the summer, like I was telling you. And then when school starts, they haven't finished the book because they were so, they just started differently. And then when the school starts and they're in that new class with this new teacher, you email that teacher, you pull that teacher aside and say, hey, Jamal is still, bring the work, whatever he's working on. This is where he is, or send a snapshot, or just say, hey, this is where he is. I didn't want to rush him because I want to make sure he is solid with his foundation. So he's going to be working, doing like catch up, but not the catch up speed while you're in the class. So That way your teacher is mindful that, okay, it's not that he doesn't know how to do it. He probably wasn't exposed to it in class. You always want to get, I need to do a video on how to talk to teachers. I do. Hold on. Because if the teacher has this information and she's a quality teacher, how to talk to teachers. Okay. And then she is a phenomenal teacher, how to talk to teachers. If she is worth her salt as a teacher, she can help him along. She can guide him along in the classroom. It's called differentiated teaching, right? You got kids who are below grade level, at grade level, and above grade level. If she can't teach to that, then you might want to look at a different classroom or a different teacher. But it's not that your child is below, they just haven't been exposed to it yet. So that was my child in 4th grade. One of my kids, he was so terrible at fractions. I spent 4 months making sure he was solid with fractions. So needless to say, he was not hitting all those standards when the school year ended. And that's okay. He's good now. And he is so solid in all those basic algebraic expressions and operations and all of that. I don't have to worry about that. But I had to suck it up. My girlfriend asked me one time, is he still doing fractions? Yep. What you gonna cook for dinner tonight? And just keep it moving. Don't even engage people, okay? So that's one way of how to end the year strong. When in your mind you feel guilty that you didn't finish your book, your lesson plan, your curriculum, you don't have, get that stress off of you. Don't worry about it. Because let me tell you, any public school, private school teacher who is honest will let you know they're not really finishing stuff either. Not the way they want to. They have to, you know how in accounting, like with the mob, like the Sopranos, they had the books for the accountant for the good men, then they had the off the books, right? That's kind of how you have to look at it sometimes. So have, you know, if you guys say whatever to your husband, to your wife, to shut them up, whatever. But you got to teach the child in front of you. And if you are where you are, don't feel the need to speed up, to catch up with people, or to catch up with standards that are arbitrarily set anyway about what you should learn in this so-called grade level. All right, let me see if I have any questions. I want to poetry. Yes. Okay. So Rambling Homemaker wants to incorporate poetry into the school year. I do. As a matter of fact, I do have a video, only one video on poetry. And there are these cute little books. I think they are out of print. And each book, and it's a thin book, but each book talks about a different type of poems. You have one on haikus, one on stanzas, and one on all the different kind, prose and stuff like that. And it's it looks like a picture book, and it's phenomenal because for me and for my kids, being able to introduce as many learning styles as possible is amazing. So they can speak it, hear it, and then the pictures are very visual. It helps them to know in an instant what a haiku is, what a prose is. It's just like for those of us like Gen X and older, we had the School of Rock songs. They came on Saturday mornings. I'm just a bill, only a bill, sitting on, I was going to say Property Hill, Capitol Hill, but I know exactly where the folded up bill paper is with the ribbon. I know exactly where he's sitting. And then when he goes through the whole thing, I know exactly where everything is. I know it all. The conjunction function, conjunction junction. What's your function? I remember all the train cards and how they connected with the conjunctions. So when you're able to place an image, and then if you have something catchy, a tune or something to go with that, you know, you'll remember that for life. And then you'll be able to teach your kids or their grandkids off of something that you learn just by singing. So yes, but you know what? I need to do more poetry. As a matter of fact, there is a curriculum that I do like. It's by Michael Clay Thompson, and it's called Music of the Hemispheres. And there's also his grammar, and it's not like a real grammar program, but it is. And it's called The Grammar of Poetry. It's not a very glamorous name, but I'll pull that out. Let me pull that out. Let me write it down. But it MCT, poetry, spheres, and grammar. And then it teaches grammar through poetry. So any of you guys who teach unit studies, you do unit studies, that's a great way to bring in all those different modalities of learning. And that's just such a fun way with poetry, really being able to, you know, hook up with these different subjects that they don't normally hook up with. It's an unusual hookup, y'all. It's an unusual hookup. All right, any more questions? Michelle says, my question is, what are tips on how far in advance to lesson plan? What time's class start? Oh, 3 minutes. Okay, let me figure out. No, I'm kidding. So 2, well, I shouldn't say 2. There are lots of thoughts on lesson planning. As a matter of fact, that's part of my project that I'm working on. Now, here's the short end of this. And y'all know I'm lying because I'm long-winded. Okay, so it depends on what part of the year you're in. So if you're talking about it's summertime and you start school August, September, how far in advance should you lesson plan? Well, depending on how far in advance will determine what type of lesson planning you're doing. So the big overall, big picture lesson planning is you take your, oh, hold on, let me take my, hold on. Thank you for that plug, girl. Thank you for the alley-oop. Where is it? Hold on, let me grab my free lesson planner. If you go in my description box, I have a free lesson planner. Let's pull that out. All right, thanks, Michelle. Michelle, I think that's what we're going to talk about. But let me pull it out so you guys can see it. I had it all nice and pretty on a plate. That, you know, one of those things that holds plates. Where is it? Oh, here we go. I got it. Okay. Okay, here we go. All right. Now this is free. It's on in my description box on just about every video. It says get your free lesson planner. I think it's still up there. Oh, I might have changed it to the daily lesson planner. Okay, well, I'll bring this back. I'm still working on my website, but I'll bring this back. But if you go to some of my older videos, not my lives, but my scheduled videos before March of 2022, I still have links where you can download this. So you're just going to have to just comb for it until I get off my duff. Well, I'm always doing something, but until I get my website relaunched. All right. So listen, now, when you're lesson planning, okay, you're looking at short term, long term, or when you have a vision for your homeschool, you have your long-term vision, like what you want your child to do or be accomplished at the end of the homeschool year. And then your short term would be, okay, what do we want to do for this week or for this month? What are our goals for this month? Okay. So when you hold on, guys. So let me just turn to that. Now, when you're talking about lesson planning, it helps to really sit down and be reflective. What do I want to get accomplished this year? Say you want your children to, like Michelle, was it you, Michelle, that talked, the rambling homemaker? You want to incorporate poetry. So that's going to be one of your visions. Just jot it down, sit down and write down. I want my child to be really comfortable with fractions. I want my child to do more extracurriculars, okay? Or I want my child to develop a like for writing, okay? So those are like long-term goals, and that will help you lesson plan. So let's take writing, okay? Okay. Now here I have short-term goals, and that would be like your day-to-day, your week-to-week, okay? But you do that after you do this. So take this, and believe me, I'm getting to the lesson planning. Trust me, okay? But now this is not for, okay, it's Sunday night at 11:58, and I got to figure out what to do for writing or math. We're not dealing with that just yet. We're gonna do best practices for lesson planning because it's almost the end of the school year and you got time until the next school year. And believe me, this summer we're gonna have a whole bunch of fun with homeschooling. Y'all, I have so much stuff planned for y'all. I'm gonna be able to breathe and just go hard. But let me just stop talking about that. So long-term goals, writing. So let's just will you stop? I guess I should put this on airplane mode. Goal, help my child like writing. Okay. Strategy. Okay. My child, oh my goodness, I was sitting on this. Strategy. Let's see. My child likes horses. Okay. My child likes horses, right? So I'm gonna plan writing around horses. Okay. My child also doesn't have writing stamina. So when I say writing stamina, that means how long can your child write in one sitting before their hand either hurts or they start to tune out or they just their whole body, their whole awareness is just they're just gone, they're checked out. So for those who don't like to write, that might be 1 minute. That might be 5 minutes because you have a lot of things going on. The processing, people don't know this, but writing is actually quite a difficult endeavor. It doesn't look like it, but because so many things are going on in your body to get that thought on paper, a lot of things physiologically that are going on, that a lot of kids don't like writing. Okay, you got the dexterity issue you have to deal with, not just the pencil grip, especially for your littles, but also how long can they write, and then what's going on up here, and then just their body in general, and then putting all that together so they can get it written down. It's a lot going on. So your child likes horses, has low writing stamina, and got ADHD. I just throw it all. All right. So your strategy is going to be do 1 minute. Hold on. Listen now. 1 minute. Didn't get it. 1 minute writing prompts. 1 minute writing prompts about, I don't know anything about horses. 1 minute writing prompt about famous horses in movies, like the Black Stallion or Pegasus, or is Pegasus a horse or not a unicorn? It looks like a horse to me with wings. So 1 minute writing prompt on Pegasus, or 30-second writing on famous horses in movies. So, and the whole point of this is making this fun because you want your child to like writing. So what you're going to write here, you, mom, don't worry about the target date. List. Find at least 5 movies about famous horses or has famous horses. The most famous one I know about is Black Beauty. Maybe Clash of the Titans because she had Pegasus in it. I don't know. But just find 5 movies with horses in it. Okay. Cartoons count, all that good stuff. And then find out what they are and list them here. Okay. Watch them to make sure they look fun and they ain't got no crazy stuff going on. Okay. Now, when I do things, I like to look at it at a month, a snapshot of a month, okay? Because that gives you time to, you're going to backslide and all kinds of stuff, but you got to keep persevering. Give yourself like at least 5 weeks to kind of stick with it. So 5 things. So each week, like here I have the months, but you can always change this. Oh, I should do this. I should make this change and make it week 1, 2, 3, whatever. And then for each week, for this week, we're watching this movie. Let me make sure it's still on Netflix for free or on YouTube for free. This week, we're doing this movie. Oh, well, let me go see what's going on in the community. Is there a horse exhibit at the Science Center or at the Museum of Natural Science or Natural History or something like that? So you're gonna Google. This is all part of your task. Find events that involve horses. Okay, your child's gonna be an expert on horses, and while they're becoming an expert on horses, you're gonna slide in. You're gonna Jedi mind trick them with the writing. Okay, so maybe you can do the zoo. I don't think they have horses. That's kind of sad that the horses at the zoo, but it's still a place to go to. So find 5 places. You ain't got to go to all 5 of them, but at least you got one. Okay. So your task is to find 5 things that would be exciting for your child pertaining to horses. Now, once you found those 5 things, and then have a reward. So at the end of this writing, and say your goal is to do this for say a month, or at least just say a month. A month is a nice pretty bow on it. So at the end, and this is what you tell your child, we can go watch a movie with whatever. We can go to an amusement park, or you can get some extra computer time. Whatever encourages your child, just put that here. Okay. So, oh no, hold on. I clicked on something, y'all. Hold on. Okay, so whatever it is that your child likes, that's the reward. Yes, you do have to do rewards, because in life, you work, and when you have an incentive, you work harder to get that reward. Okay, whether it's a bonus or whatever they give at work. Okay, so your strategy: 1 minute or less, because that was my case. 1 minute to free write about horses. Now, why did I say free write? When you got a lot of pressure on you to do a subject that you don't like, you don't want to have any rules. You want it to be the wild, wild west. You don't want any boundaries at all, at all. So when you take, and then under the task, maybe get a nice looking journal that has a horse on the cover. Listen, it seems like you're doing a lot, but writing is an important skill. So it's like courting a woman. You're a gentleman, and she's hard to get, like your child is hard to get to do the writing. You got to court that child, okay? You got to court. It's not spoiling them or anything like that. You just want to get them on the other side of the fence when it comes to writing, okay? So you're going to have to do it with sweetness, it's the honey. It's, you got to be, you got to reel her in. You got to reel your child in. All right, so maybe a nice looking journal. Cool journal, or she can make her own journal. If she can draw, that's even better. She can write her own journal and draw. Okay. You might want to find a class on horses on OutSchool, especially during the summertime when a lot of teachers drop their prices. Maybe there's a class on drawing horses, or there's some kind of, I don't know, girl, anything about horses. Go on OutSchool, see what they have. So now you have something to work with. Now, once you've got the stuff to work with, you get the planner. Okay. I'm just trying to look for some paper. All right, here. You got the planner, okay? And then you have your child open the planner and free write. Explain what free writing is. Free writing is anarchy, okay? Anarchy with your mind. You tell your baby, the only thing you have to do is put ink or lead on paper. I don't care what you write. There is no such thing as grammar, spelling, or punctuation. You don't have to think about anything. Whatever pops into your mind. If whatever pops into your mind is, I hate writing, I can't stand my mom, write that down. And you keep writing for 1 minute. You get your phone, or you get you a little timer, and you set it for 1 minute, and you have your baby go write. As a matter, I'm doing this right now. My youngest son is doing a free write journal. And so there are 2 things that I did. So I just grabbed a little regular old composition notebook, but he still likes to write in pencil. But I got him a whole bunch of nice looking colored markers, because after each entry, you draw a line at the end, because right now he's only writing for like 7 minutes at a time. So he's got like, he'll write, right now he's like at half a page. So, but before he would sometimes be able to get 3 entries on 1 page. So just so it's not confusing, just a nice colored marker to end each paragraph, so you can see where the next entry is. And then for each entry, you just have the date. Okay. And I have them put the time that they're writing, like say April. Let me see. All right. So this is the journal entry. Okay. They have the little title if they want one. All right. And then here they'll have the date, and I have mine spell it out just because it's easy for me to see. Okay. And then they scribble, 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 scribble. scribble, 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 and then got a marker around here. Oh, here we go. And then when they're done doing their writing, oh, hold on. Put 6 minutes, 6 minutes, 6 minutes, 6 minutes to get fresher on. And they draw a line. Oh, I'm out of ink. All right. So all they have to do, the date, how long they have to write. If they want to add a title, they can. But it's anarchy. They don't have to write a title. Then they just scribble, scribble, scribble what they're going to write. And when they're done, draw a line. That's it. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4 steps. 5th step, close the book, put it away. Pick it up tomorrow. Okay? Now, they can be all fussy-mussy if they want to. The only rule is your pen or pencil or crayon or color pencil has to be moving. It has to be moving. That's the only rule. So that's no excuse. If they write the letter A 200 times during that time, then they write the letter A 200 times during that time. So long as the pen is moving, it's a win. And you'll be surprised. My son started off, because remember I was telling you how he was getting tired with all the writing and rhetoric of the Greek and Roman stuff. And so I'm like, all right, write about what you want. So he, man, oh my gosh, the stuff that he writes, he cracks me up. And so now I'm really seeing more personality in his writing, and he looks forward to it. I don't have to tell him. So I really like that. So with the free write, it really helps for them to get out of their shell. And it also helps to tell them, hey, you can write. A lot of times, just like with math, oh, I'm no good at math. I'm no good at writing. And it's not true. It's not true. So just try that. And I don't know how we got on the subject, but try that. It will work. The key point is 1% a day. Do a little bit a day. Start with 1 minute. If you want to just really shock them, tell them 30 seconds. 30 seconds? They're not going to take you seriously. Really? In their mind, they're going to be like, man, I'm about to take advantage of this woman. Do 30 seconds for the first week. But I bet you by the time they get to 2 minutes, they're going to be like, oh, I'm just going to keep writing and keep writing. Right? So try it out. Let me know. So we're talking about, who was that that asked me that question? Was you, Michelle? So when we're talking about, lesson planning. Y'all know I get long-winded. Okay, so that was long-term. So that was your lesson plan. You get all this stuff down, what they like to do, what you can do, for the writing. And then each day, free write, 1 minute. That's it for that whole week. Now, if you want to bring in some more writing because you think there needs to be more writing, then have them start with the fun stuff. Okay. You got to prep them. Okay. That's the appy. That's the appetizer. Then you pull out your writing, and whatever they want you to do in that writing book, if they have writing prompts or they want you to rewrite something, have them do it with with horses. So for example, say if it says rewrite these 4 sentences. And so you have to kind of move around the subject and, some adjectives and direct objects and stuff like that. Whatever sentence that they give them, that's more grammar, but like in writing and rhetoric, they mix that in. Whatever you can substitute a fun subject with the writing, do that. Okay. Now, so long-term is looking at what's going on in the community, what's going on in your state that you can get to, and then incorporating that into your learning for the year. So a lot of times you're talking about your county fairs, your museums, your science museums, your natural history museums, your metropolitan or contemporary arts museums. So all of those major institutions in your area, you always want to go there and look and see what's coming up. Almost all of those museums are going to have some kind of special exhibit coming up. So you can look out for that and plan for that. That's long-term lesson planning. And then as you get closer to that, you can start saying, okay, well, it's 1 month before this exhibit starts. Say it's the one on, and this is the King Tut, which is coming back again. Say there's a King Tut exhibit coming to your area. So it's going to come in November. So October, you might want to start prepping for King Tut. So in October, 4 weeks, pull out the book on Egyptian mythology, just like an overall picture of what's going on. Next week, the pharaohs of Egypt. The next week, Egypt today. Like, what is Egypt like today? Another week could be the life and times of King Tut and the 15th dynasty, whatever dynasty he was a part of, whatever it is. So by the time your child sees the exhibit, they can appreciate the exhibit. They can appreciate all the nuances of the exhibit that a lot of kids don't get when the parents just take them and they don't have that much background in that subject. They look at it, it's nice. You're trying, they're like, you have to impress them. But if they come in with pre-knowledge, now they can they'll stay there forever because they know a lot. They know, oh, did you know that this thing means this? But that's what they said in the 1920s. But then this guy came out and exposed the racket from the University of Chicago because they were trying to take over the Egyptology department and have their own. Man, listen, because my kids, we like to go off in the rabbit hole. So that would be your long-term planning. Now, what about the day-to-day planning? Okay. So you would fill this out. I did have a video going over how to fill these out, and then I took them down, but I'll put them back up. I'm going to update these though. Now, short-term lesson planning. Now, in my last live, I said if I were a curriculum publisher, this would be mandatory in every textbook, which is a typical teaching week. Okay. It's just a benchmark, just something so the parent or the educator can wrap their head around how to jump in. So, half the times the analysis paralysis is, I don't know where to start. But if you see a starting point, now you can decide, do I want to go past the starting point, stay behind the starting point, or jump in at that starting point. So when you're looking at your short-term goals, let's take math. Okay. You're starting a unit on what's hard? Multi-digit multiplication, right? So you'll have your goal and your strategy. Actually, for this would be something like, let me see, like for each subject, say something for math, English, science, writing, okay? And then have a goal. You don't want to have too many goals because that's going to overwhelm you. So just take this one right here. Let's be easy. Master the multiplication chart, 12 to 12. Okay. So you'll have your goal, master multiplication, blah, blah, blah. Strategies. This is where it helps to know your child's learning style. Are they visual? Are they verbal? Are they kinesthetic? Are they interpersonal? What's their learning? How do they learn best? And then find a strategy that aligns to that. If your child is kinesthetic, well, for multiplication, you might want to have those little slide rulers. I don't know if they do those anymore, where it gives a multiplication. You have the ruler and then the thing that sits on it that slides. Okay. Something that they can hold in their hands to help. I know the Times Tale DVD was real popular back in the day when my kids were younger, and it would show physical elements in nature or your everyday life that were numbers. Like the chair, you would see the number in the chair. You would see the number in like an apple tree or something like that. So it was mixing visuals and stories with like eight times eight. I think it was like 2 apple trees. I forget what it was, but it would give you images. So when you would see 9 times 5, you would see, oh, it's the chair and the snake or something like that. So whatever strategy, you'll put that there. And then your task would be, how are you going to teach that? Okay. So on Monday, now pull out your textbook because you want to work in conjunction with your textbook, right? So look at the whole chapter or that whole section on multiplication to see how that textbook is starting and how that textbook is ending on teaching, say, triple digit the times table. See how they start, see how they finish. Okay. And then you can plan your tasks. So the book says they start with multiplication, the zeros and the ones. Okay. You can start up here with the zeros and the ones, but then when you're doing, when you're teaching the zeros and the ones, you're pulling out the slide ruler, or you're watching a video, something like that, or you're you got some colored chalk and you're outside on the sidewalk or on your porch or wherever, and you're, you know, writing it out. However your child learns best. Okay. And then you know, if you want to assess them, you know, see what they're retaining. People have different theories on assessment. You can go ahead and do that. Now, if you actually have the curriculum in your hands, we're actually going to have a video on how to tear apart curriculum. So I'm going to walk you through how to, let's do a quick, what time is it? Oh, it's an hour. Let's do like a little rough draft version, okay? Of curriculum. All right. Here's one. All right. All right. So, Teacher's Edition for Writing and Rhetoric, okay? Book 6. All right. Now, and this one is all about the 6-paragraph persuasive essay, and like, you know, you know, refuting and defending. But let me look at this. All right. So, it's the beginning of the year. You got a brand new curriculum and you're doing writing. The first thing you're going to do, get to know thy textbook. So you're going to look at the table of contents. Hopefully the table of contents means something to you. Sometimes in some books, it's very casual and you have no idea what they're talking about. Like, do you know what commonplace means? Do you know what, well, I know what, you would know what thesis means, but you keep seeing commonplace and then all these other words. So if you're not familiar with the program, or you're jumping in late, which you shouldn't, then you might be a little confused, which is going to mess up your lesson planning. And then it kind of gets more down to earth down here with more skills. Okay, more skills based there. So, like I said, a good curriculum will give you a typical teaching week. And then you can see how to chop it up, okay? So, if your book does not have how to teach from day 1 to day 5, look through the table of contents. Then go to the first chapter, okay? And see how they start off. Because the first chapter could be your make or break. It would start to make you question, did I make the wrong choice in purchasing this curriculum? Okay? So, we're going to look at lesson 1. Now, the first thing I do, I count how many pages there are. No, seriously. Because some type of curriculum, they like everything bite size and the same. Each was like maybe 1 or 2 pages deviation. Just about every chapter is going to kind of be the same. And part of that goes to publishing, because books have to be, they don't have to be, but the pace, depending on the size of the book, will determine how many pages, okay? And the reason why I say this is because if anyone has used Daily Grams or Easy Grammar, the books are like 600 pages. They're behemoths. I don't know why they do that, but it's a good program. But it would scare any kid looking at 2 Harry Potter books stacked up for a writing or for a grammar. But anyway, so I'm going to look at this and I'll read the teacher notes later. But right now, I want to see what I'm getting into. So I'm going to go through here. And because you know your kid's going to do that, probably. All right. Now, I'm in the teacher's edition. Now, my pages are going to be slightly longer than the student edition just because there's more information for the teacher. So right now it's 1 through 20 pages, which is not bad, okay? Now, I see in this lesson, okay, it's a lot of words, really wordy. Look at that. Now, mind you, I'm in the book 6. So if you were like in book 1, it's going to be totally different. But this is what you're going to do. So you are going to have to be prepared to either read this or have your child read this. Now, they do have a CD option where you can have it played, but still, it's a lot of reading. And then some narration, okay? More reading. So as I look through here, I'm like, okay, so I might have to be present for this, okay? I'm seeing a lot of reading because you need to know, you need to read this because you need to know what they're doing. So that means you, dear teacher, are going to have to be reading all that. You're going to have to read this to make sure your child is telling you the truth about what they're doing. All right. So right off the bat, I know the first 7 pages, it's a lot of reading. So I'm going to have to make a decision. Do I want to pre-read this now? Or do I want to wait and read it for the first time with my child? Don't do the latter, especially if they're not really into writing, because you're going to get confused, you're going to get frustrated, or you're going to be like, oh, shoot, I wish I read this earlier because we could have done this. I've said that a million times. So please, if you can, just skim it. At least skim it so you kind of know what's going on, okay? Just so you know what's going on. All right. And then after all of that, I look and see how much actual work does the student have to do, okay? And then I look and I read the instructions. Okay, are these instructions that my child can read on his or her, on his, whatever? Can my child read this on his own without me interpreting that for the kid? Okay, so that's one thing to do. And then head over to the end and then see how it ends. Is it kind of recapping the whole the lesson, or is it kind of giving them some extra work so they can finish strong, which does happen? So or is there like some cumulative review, like if you're doing math, is that at the end where you don't really have to do anything? It's something you can just give to your kid. That's why you preview the chapter. Break it up into the middle, to the beginning, middle, and end, like a story. Okay. And then you can kind of see, okay, so this looks like it's going to be a lot of reading and a little bit of writing. So let's spend the first 2 days of the week doing the reading part, and then day 3 or 4 we can do some of the writing, and then the last days, or however you want to do it, we can finish up with the last part of it. Either it's a cumulative review, or it was winding down, or it's showing what you know, or something like that, which shouldn't be too much on your end. You should just be watching what your child is doing. The child should be doing something for you to show either mastery of that topic, or at least awareness of it, some kind of state of mind with the topic. So that's one way. Now I have lots of little specific examples and techniques and things like that, but this is just like the rough draft version. This is the lazy parents version. Just skim through it, see where the hard parts are, see where there are instructions that you don't understand, and then make sure you understand them, and then look at the end and see how it ends, and then go from there. Okay. And then in a future video, we will do a deep dive just on lesson planning, how to grab that text or whatever you're using, chop it up, and then figure out, Nick, how do I break it up into days? Like what goes on this day or that day, or how much can I do? All of those questions that you just naturally, organically ask. We'll talk about that. All right, let me catch up on some comments. Any thoughts on incorporating the stock market? My student will be in sixth grade. Now, that depends, Tanya. Do you want to teach it? Okay. Let me go get it, because I started my kids in the stock market when they were in elementary school. Give me 2 ticks. I'm going to go grab. I hope I know where it is. I have a whole curriculum on the stock market, but there's also this program. It's an online program. It's been around forever, for years, many years. It's called the stock market game. Let me try to pull it up and I can share my screen. The stock market game. Here we go. It's called stockmarketgame.org, and I'm going to share my screen in a second. All right, let's see. Let me go back here and share. Okay, I haven't shared in a minute. Settings. Nope. Is it settings? Nope. Yeah, I forgot how to share my screen. Hold on. StreamYard changed everything up in here. Okay, I think this is it. Okay, picture in picture. Preset. Oh, share screen. Okay. Share screen and the stock market. Just the window. Entire screen. Crumbed. Am I sharing the entire screen? I guess. Am I sharing the entire screen or the window? Maybe the window. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to figure out how to show this. I hope I'm showing the wait. Chrome has lost permission to capture your screen. What? Hold on. Let me try another way. All right, let me try another way. It's saying I don't have permission. I have to reset my permissions. Stock market preview. Oh, window. Okay, entire screen. Nope, still saying it. All right, let's do the old-fashioned way. All right, so anyway, it's called the stock market game. No, stockmarketgame.org. Stock market game. And you have to sign up like a teacher, but you don't have to be a teacher. You have groups and you compete. Wait, I have stock market game. And so you're given, like back then when my kids did it, you got like $100,000 and it's a semester long program. It's totally free, right? So this is what it looks like. The stock market game, or stockmarketgame.org. And this is how you know you're in the right place, because it has that the little whatever those colored lines are. Okay. And so you create these classrooms. Like I created classrooms called like the Three Kings or something like that. And so you create your class, and then you get your money, and then it's pretty involved. You have like a whole month where you do like, demos where you're teaching, and then and then everybody starts the stock market game. And so you'll have summer would be the perfect time to sign up for this, Tanya. So you have say you have like 4 kids and you want all 4 kids to be in it. So you give yourself a class name. So Tanya's kids. And then you sign up with that. You list the names, fake names, whatever. And then you do like a demo, like a tutorial to learn, it's kind of animated and stuff like that. So you're just really learning where everything is and stuff like that. And then I have all this additional stuff for you to download and teach. It's like curriculum and lesson plans. So you'll have like vocabulary, you'll have major websites you can go to follow along. You'll have simulation websites you can go to simulate, because you will be using the simulation to simulate the stock market. You're given like $100,000, and then when the stock market starts, when the program officially starts, then you go in and you start trading and buying and selling. Well, you're not really trading, but you're buying and selling, and it's fun. So I actually have some of the printouts, because I don't throw anything away. But if you didn't want to do something online, if y'all, is it okay if I go grab the books, because they're wonderful books on the stock market? If it's okay for me to be gone for like 20 seconds, put a 1 in the chat and I'll bring the books to show you, because I think these are books that you should have. Any thoughts on incorporate? Okay, I said that one. How are Writing and Rhetoric and Brave Writers program different? Oh my gosh, night and day different. Brave Writer is really geared to the younger ones, the little ones, like preschool. I mean, it goes up to like middle school maybe. But it's very hands-on. Let me get out of here. Hey, Malibu's, good to see you. Okay, I'm gonna run off in just a second. PJ, let me come back and I'll tell you the main difference between Writing and Rhetoric and Brave Writer. Brave Writer is more creative, and it's like Charlotte Mason based, where you're having poetry, teas, you can do dress up, you can act out things. It's if your child is a kinesthetic learner or a very visual learner, it's perfect for them. You do writing. It brings in literature. You'll be downloading and printing a lot of the stories. Actually, you have to print out the whole program, unless Julie Bogart, who is the creator of it, unless she changed this. I used this when my kids were all in elementary school, so that's many moons ago. Back then, we had to print out everything. I still have it. Let me go get the stock market books. Be back in 2 ticks. I'm coming. Hey, Dutch. Just chilling? Okay. All right. Sorry, guys. I have the books in two different places. Okay. All right. All right. So this book, Go Stock Go. This is a good one. And look, it's thin. Oh, it's saying my connection is low. I mean, I'm at 1 bar. Let me see if I can adjust this. All right. So it's thin. All right. A stock market guide for enterprising children and their curious parents. And that's who it's by if you want to get that. Now, y'all know I like to teach through stories, right? So, especially anything related to money. So you'll see here is very casual. It's very easy to get into. Okay. That's not the beginning of the book though. So just to kind of just give you an idea, like, you know, how they introduce the vocabulary words. It's in a story. Okay. You guys will see that most of my curriculum is story based. That's not going to fly with a lot of other kids. They might want something straight and to the point. And if they do, they can use, oh, and I didn't grab it, but there is a series. It's by Cloverfield or Cloverleaf Books. It's like a 5-part series on money, but not just the stock market, because that's what you asked about. I do have a video on that somewhere. Just type in money on my homepage and it should come up. But that's good for, I got all for each of my kids. Saving and investing, that goes hand in hand. Okay, definitely with investing. Okay, so this one, if your child is really into if they're a logical, mathematical type of person, I mean, that's their learning style, this would be right up their alley. You're going to have lots of charts, okay, graphs, okay. And the reason why I have different styles is because I have children with multiple learning styles, as most of us are. We have multiple learning styles, right? But you see, it's really wordy. It has some pictures on it, but it gives you, I like this. I like the headings. The headings could be a video in and of itself. Do not try to time the market. Okay. So this is good for your logical. And then you have, oh, that's my son coming home from practice. Your final exam questions to ask. Okay. What else? So that's it. If you have older kids, I know you said yours is in the 6th grade, never too early to start them. The Richest Man in Babylon, we are reading this right now, but I got the study guide, which is not necessary. The study guide just has you asking your kids reflective questions. So it's not a big deal. This will probably take us all summer to get through, just because we don't do it every day. But The Richest Man in Babylon, this is a very famous book and the classic book. I would check that out. This is the just regular version, looks slightly different, but this is the one with the study guide. Economics. Again, this is by Blue Stocking Press. They wrote, I think they did a couple of books. Yeah. So they wrote these 2 books. This is kind of like, I think they were published in the 70s, because it kind of gives me that little old school feel. No, I'm wrong. 2015. Well, 2010. No, 1998. Okay, my bad. 1998. But it kind of gives me a feel. But look, maybe for your older kids, because this is just the table of contents, baby. Have you ever seen a table of contents that looks like this? Look at this. That's the table of contents. See, it's prepping you already to look at stuff that's going to like make your eyes bleed. Okay. But look, this will be good for if you have high schoolers. For high schoolers, this would be good because look, I promise y'all I'm going to get my document reader up. But This is talking to you, the teacher, how to grade your assignments. Okay. It's giving you information on application exercises, comprehension exercises. You gonna learn from this book, is what they're trying to tell you. So I like this for your high schoolers, or if you have very precocious younger kids. The author's point of view. This is why I like Blue Stocking Press. I need to go to their website and see if they have any more books. Okay. And then questions. So it's very cerebral. Like, if I'm not mistaken, I think this could be like a half credit in high school. This is very thorough. And then another book in that publishing house, it's an Uncle Eric book, Whatever Happened to Penny Candy. This you can use with your kids. You see, it kind of goes together, but kind of doesn't. They use the same. They didn't splurge. They didn't splurge on a new some images. But you see, it's it's very wordy. Okay, so I would probably use this for middle school and up. And you're going to get history in this too. So it's pretty thorough. As a matter of fact, at the school library journal, which is that's a very preeminent review place, a review organization. You have a lot of great reviews for this. And then the rest are just money books. Here's another Blue Stocking guide. This is the publisher. Now this is for younger kids, and it's got, well, no, it's not really for younger kids, but it's more involved. You see how it's solving the money mystery? Okay. Based on the Richard Mayberry's book, The Money Mystery. Okay. So it's oh, look. Oh, I didn't see this. Look at all their books. I need to go to their website and check that out. Huh. I didn't even see that. Although I probably have a bookmark somewhere. So anyway, so Blue Stocking Press is the publisher. If you want to check out their other things. This on financial education, I got this at a homeschool convention years ago. It's okay. I thought it was just novel because, well, the lady, she was actually quite young. I think she was probably in college. She tried. It's very textbook-y to me, but hey, you can teach anybody anything, really. You just have to make it work. I don't know if she's updated it, but she's got all the Common Core standards in there, and I'm like, my kids don't want to see all that. All they're seeing is like a whole bunch of number. You see what I'm talking about? And that's good information for you if you have to teach Common Core, but that kind of just threw me off. But she does say that this is good for dyslexia, people who have dyslexia. And then got Money Matters for Teens. And then that was the teaching guide. That's the regular guide. And then the rest are just basic books on how money works. This is DK, I think. Yeah, I love DK. DK puts out such quality books across the board. Now, this is how I learn. I need pictures. I need colorful pictures. I need information that's chunked. Chunk just means little chunks of information, like little blocks. That's how I learn best. And my kids, to a degree. Yeah. So I like that. Big titles, get a big headings and subheadings that you can look through here and be like, if you're lesson planning, Michelle or Tanya, whoever asked that question, if you're lesson planning, you can be like, okay, public debt. Okay, so this lesson is on public debt. So let me go onto YouTube University, see what kind of fun animation videos are on public debt, because who wants to talk about public debt? It's boring. So you need to approach it in a very interesting way. So YouTube University it is, right? Interest rates. Y'all need to read this as parents, like me, because y'all don't know about interest rates. Let me get this car at interest rate 6.8, or let me refinance this house. Taxation. Once your kids really know about taxes, like my son, he worked on this movie. He made a lot of money. Can't lie. But the taxes killed him. And that was when he really realized, Mom, where in the world can I go and not pay taxes? I said, anywhere offshore, baby. But the graphics are really amazing. They stick. As a matter of fact, what you could do to chop it up, say you don't want to do the whole book, but you should, because money and the management of money is really important. But say you don't have time to do all that. Look through the table of contents. Now look at this table of contents versus the one that looked like some esoteric map from Egypt. Look at that and decide, okay, we're going to still table of contents. We're going to focus on personal finance because I got little kids, you know, and everything right now is personal finance. Now let's go to managing investments, money in the digital age, cryptocurrency, Bitcoin. Let's go 220. 220. No, let me do 150. Worth, wealth, and income. What did I say, 150? Okay, 150. Now, once you get there, okay, we're here. But you don't want to teach everything. You just want to get the main takeaways, okay? So what you're going to do, you'll read it, but you can just photocopy. As a matter of fact, just off the top of my head, I would take the charts from that chapter or that section, and I would just photocopy these, bind it with those book binders or old-fashioned, take that stapler, do the 3, now you have a little book, and you have all the graphics, and then for each graphic, write down, if you're using your lesson planner, write it in your lesson planner or write it on the printouts. Find at least 2 YouTube channels for each graphic that you photocopied, and then 1 blank sheet of paper. So before you staple everything, photocopy the graphics and a blank sheet of paper, like writing paper, college rule, wide rule. And then after each graphic that you photocopied, put the blank paper, okay, staple it together. And then at the front or on the back, wherever, write down for that page, YouTube channel, write the URL, whatever, but put it in a playlist or bookmark it on your laptop or your phone. And then when it's time to teach, have them watch the video, prep them first, then go over the chart. If you need to, that's why I say 2 videos. Do the shortest video first, the shortest one or the funnest one first that gets to the point. Then do the photocopy thing. Then go back to the second video in YouTube. And then when they're done, that blank sheet of paper, have them write something about that. And it ain't got to be all wordy. It could be like, list 5 things you learned from this video. And they can look at the chart, the thing that you printed out as their cheat sheet, and they can look at it, and then write it down. That's why I said do the handouts, print it out, and then have a blank piece of paper. Or you can say, oh, they can free write. Or you can have them say, hey, you ask them, what are some ways to wind up not being broke? Or here's your prompt. How can you avoid living in your mama's house when you're 35? You can be silly about it. It doesn't even have to, just so long as it's related to personal finance, anything's a go. You just want to get them talking about it. Or just say, hey, write down 2 vocabulary words with the definition. It can change, it can vary, so long as they are doing it and they have that constant exposure to finance. That's the name of the game. All right. And then I have some other books. But anyway, that's your long-winded question, PJ. Wait, who was that that asked me? Was it you, Tanya, that asked about the stock market? Yeah, I know I get so winded. All right. Sade. Oh, I love the spelling of that. Sade Henry, welcome. I'm not familiar with that name unless you're under another name. Mari, hello, my fellow Californian. Hey, Nikki, any tips on homeschooling middle school? I'll have a 5th and 6th grader next year. I am knee deep in middle school right now. Letting go. Letting go. Meaning, as I'm watching my son who was a sophomore in high school, and I'm looking at, oh man, I wish I'd done this differently. But he was my first kid, so I didn't know. So I made all my mistakes on him. Still counting. Now, with middle school, you have to take into account they are really, really changing. Really changing. And so you have to, when you do your subjects, okay, we're doing writing, math, history, science, and attitude. Their attitude is a subject that you're going to have to study too. As a matter, I bought this because my sophomore was trying me, and I knew I had to rise to the occasion and rise above it. But all I wanted to do was lose my. So I bought this book. I was laughing throughout this book. Laughing. I'm going to do a review on that book. It might actually be a book club book. It was so funny. So anyway, so when you're planning your lessons, when you're planning what you're going to teach, make sure you put in a section for dealing with the child and the attitude and the ego or whatever. Okay. Just so you know, just to be prepared. Now, if you're talking just academics, you're the biggest change you're going to have from elementary to middle school, you're just going to have more topics or more subjects that your child is going to be covering, okay? In a traditional sense, okay? In a traditional sense. For us, in our homeschool, once my children hit middle school, I start teaching logic. Like seriously, I start teaching logic, logical fallacies, reasoning, all those critical thinking skills. That becomes a subject in and of itself. I also start to outsource classes. One, I'm getting tired of looking at them. Two, there are subjects that I'm proficient at, but I don't want to teach at a proficient level for certain classes. So I outsource classes. So maybe depending on what you have coming up in the school year, is it going to be a busy year? Is it going to be a year where you have some surgeries coming up? Is it a year where you're just knocking heads with your kids? They might benefit from having a teacher that is not you. That would be a good time this summer to start looking at classes on OutSchool. I loved OutSchool. My kids were, I think they're like in 3 classes a piece on OutSchool. They love OutSchool. I found some really, really great teachers. When our classes are done, I'll give you that list in the summertime. But no shame in the game. Let someone else teach them, okay? I right now only teach my favorite subjects. That's literature. Oh my goodness. I should have been, you guys are going to have to tell me like every 15 minutes to take a sip of my tea for my throat. So I tell them, so what was I saying? So the subjects, was I saying subjects? Yeah, I know I have the memory of a gnat. OutSchool classes. Oh, and never mind. I was going to show you another stock market book that I'm looking at. I forgot what I was about to say. So, oh, what was I saying, y'all? Does anybody remember? I'm so behind in the comments. Anyway, so middle school. So, classes, OutSchool. So outsource classes. Oh, I only teach the subjects that I love to teach: literature, history, writing, and with the younger one, logic or fallacy. That's it. That's it. Even though they take a history class, it's on military history, but I teach our history. So that was a huge game changer in our household. I didn't have to worry about math and making sure, okay, I had to, let me have at least 2 different ways of explaining irrational numbers or ratios or whatever, string theory, which is not, I'm kidding. I didn't want to do that at all because that would involve more work because I wasn't fluent at it. I was proficient, so my kid would know just enough to just know it, but I really wanted my children to master it, and I wanted someone else to teach that to full mastery, okay? And the other ones, honestly, I just really wanted to have a lesser teaching load because, something that I've been working on for the past year, and I didn't want to spread myself out too thin. So the main takeaway is factor in their moods and attitudes that will drastically affect your homeschool. I'm not kidding. All of my veteran homeschoolers who have older kids, they put a 1 or a hand clap, that yes, that change in mood and attitude is real. Okay. The other thing is, look at it as a 3-year window. This I wish I would have done for science, because y'all know I struggle with science and I was all over the place with curriculum. So with science, now that I've figured out what works for us, is benefiting my youngest one. But I did it as, instead of doing a whole bunch of different science in 1 year, like hitting biology, chemistry, physics, astronomy, I just said we're just going to focus on one and just go deep dive. Excuse me, so unprofessional. Deep dive in that. And then 7th grade, we'll deep dive in that. So whereas with my other kids, because I was all over the place and always changing curriculum, I just made it really fun. But it was too surface like. It didn't really, and it's only middle school, but I felt I could have just really, the only exception is with chemistry, because we did do a deep dive with chemistry and we had a wonderful textbook, a curriculum for chemistry, but I was all over the place with science. But maybe I should make a video on teaching middle school. Now, depending on what your philosophy is, now we're eclectic, but we're classical in some areas and Charlotte Mason in other areas. That's why we are an eclectic approach to homeschooling. We use an eclectic approach to homeschooling. So for middle school, I would say look and see what kind of approach you want to use and stick with that as much as possible. So what I mean by that is, for writing and rhetoric is very classical, and we're going to stick with it. But I think the reason why I say try to pick something and stick with it is so you can really start building those skills. Like if you were kind of like laid back in elementary school, you didn't really push them too hard. It's, we're fun, we're cutting, we're gluing, we're doing, it's all hands-on. In middle school, you want to start laying that foundation for high school. So for me, I'm like, we're doing writing and rhetoric because it works for you. You don't see the progress. You don't see all of the things that you're learning that's not just writing related. I see all of that, and that's my job to see all of that. So having them stay with that, so when 9th grade comes, they're so solid with their writing because they were immersed in the same thing for 3 years. Okay, nothing wrong with changing it up, but I'm just looking at things I did with my oldest son and just jumping around, curriculum jumping. Sometimes, it's good. Other times it does you a disservice. So really being very intentional with your curriculum and thinking, okay, is this something I could use for 6th, 7th, and 8th grade? Let me look at their other books. That's another thing. And I need to do, when I do my how to pick curriculum, I know Susan Wise Bauer, with her book, her writing book, the name escapes me right now, Writing with Ease, I think. I forget the name of it. But then the next series, a lot of parents would ask, like, will this work? I feel like I have to use another curriculum before I go to this next part of her series. It wasn't a seamless transition. With writing and rhetoric, it takes you from 3rd grade to 12th grade. So no, 9th grade, I'm sorry. It's book 12, but it takes you to 9th grade. So it gets you up to high school. So sometimes if you can find, that's why I love this. If you can find something that's consistent across the grade levels, get it, because then your child, and if your child likes it, oh my gosh, because there will be so entrenched and so just, what's the word I'm looking for? They will be well learned with that subject, just because it's been consistent for so long. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. But then again, things might come up and you can't do that. But that's one of the main things I wish I had done with my oldest child, was just have found something and sticking with it, so he can kind of see the changes as he progresses from grade to grade. I don't know, but I'll make a video on that because there's so many other things to think about in middle school, especially if you're trying to prep them for something, or if you want them to go into a specific field choice, whether it's tech or medicine or something like that. You can start prepping them right now. If you think, because kids can change their mind, but if you think if your child has a very strong desire to go into medicine in any way, shape, or form, then that will help you put together your curriculum for 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, right? It'll also help you to lesson plan, looking for opportunities or internships. They have them for middle school where you can incorporate that into your lesson planning. So middle school is not just is this mini high school. There are lots of opportunities for those kids. So definitely start thinking about what their interests are and how you can kind of jump on the train. All right. Crystal Sailing. Guest Hollow. I love Guest Hollow. It has an economics course that uses a lot of these same resources and puts them into a schedule for you. It's new. I love Guest Hollow. I haven't been on her website in a while, but we use her botany. We use her science stuff. I pay like $20 and you just print everything. Make sure you get on there and get your stuff because I think it expires after a year. But she's got grammar on there, but her science stuff is really, really good. So definitely check out Guest Hollow. I didn't know about the economics, but I would check that out because I like that lady's style of curriculum. How she puts it together is she uses a lot of books, which is what I love because, like I said, I'm literature-based teaching. Let me check her website out real quick. So if you're into, well, I shouldn't just say if your kid is into it, because when a curriculum is put together in a fun, interactive way, things that you think your kid won't like, they'll like. Don't put so much on your kids. They can be easy to please. They really can. So curriculum, shop by subject. Who keeps? Okay. I might have to buy this and do a review on it. I would try to share my screen, but 47. Okay, must be a big one. I wonder if it's for high school. High school, is it high school? Okay, well, I'm going to check it out. Thank you for that. Who said that? Thank you for that, Crystal. I didn't know she had an economics curriculum out yet. I mean, now. Sade says, I've been following you for a while, but I've never caught your lives. Today, I'm not busy, so I thought I would join in instead of catching the recording. Thank you, Sade. I'm so happy to have you in here, and thank you for all of your thoughtful questions and your comments. Hold up. Oh, which one? This book, Sade? I don't know how far behind I am in the comments. Which book did you want me to hold up, Sade? Was it one of the economics books? What Happened to Penny Candy by Richard Mayberry. A Blue Stocking Guide to Economics. Same guy. Oh, wait. Is it him? No, Jane A. Williams. Let me see what you put in the chat. Let me know which book you want me to hold up. And then Serenity in the Woods. Hey, sis, I haven't seen you in a while. Will you be able to do a flip through on Right Source? Yes, as a matter of fact, I needed in my mind and heart, I wanted to have a playlist of at least 50 curriculum reviews. I'm not kidding. What'd you ask me? Oh, Right Source. Right Source. And if I could just be honest with you guys, Right Source, flip through. Hold on. I think I have a Right Source over here. I have 8th, 6th, and 4th grade. Let me see if I have it here. Sade, let me know what book you wanted me to hold up, and then I'm going to get out of here. Let's see. Did you answer? Let me see. What am I looking for again? Right Source. Okay, Right Source. Oh, I got one. What grade levels, Serenity? I have 8th grade. I have 8th grade. Tanya. Oh, the one about your son's attitude. Oh, yeah. How to Stop Losing Your with Your Kids. That's by Carla Nomberg, PhD. You know, I'll put a link in. So if you want to go through my link, I'll get a little, like 20 cents, because Amazon has slashed everything for creators. I'll get a percentage, but it does not cost you anything. So if you hold on after this live, I will put a link in the description, an affiliate link. Who asked me about, fourth grade? You would ask about fourth grade. I think it's at the bottom of this book pile. Let's see. Right source. Where are you? Right source. Oh, gosh. Let's see. Right source. I can't get you. I might break it now. Although half these nails are broken anyway. Oh, wait. I think I have a teacher's edition right here, but not. Hold on. All right. 8th grade, 6th grade. No, the fourth must be in my son's room in the closet. All right. So flip through. I'll be greedy and make 3 different videos on the right source. Now, the flip throughs are easy. Like, I can come in during the week and like during lunch and just do a flip through, show you the table of contents, scope and sequence if it's present, what a typical chapter looks like, all that kind of stuff. And I can kind of give you like how to jump into it, you know, really quickly. So I can definitely do that. So I have that on my notepad, and I will do that. Any other questions before we get out of here? Almost 2 hours. I love talking to you guys for this long, but I'm like, will anyone ever listen to all this? Maybe I should put this in like a podcast form, so you can kind of listen to this while you're gardening or cooking or cleaning up or yelling at your kids. All right. So if there are no more questions, I'm going to get out of here. I do have a list. I'll probably come on like this weekend. I'm really planning on getting a lot of my together. I mean, like tying up loose ends, because there are some things I'm doing with this project and I'm learning for the first time, and I'm so thorough to a fault, and it just takes long and energy. It takes me longer and more energy. So it is what it is. But future videos, how to talk to teachers, Michael poetry, poetry options in the homeschool. Why do I? How to tear curriculum apart. I just wrote tear curriculum. How to dissect curriculum to understand what you're teaching. Teaching middle school, and how to pick curriculum. And then finally, right source flip through grades 4, 6, and 8, because those are the books that I have. All right, so I'm going to get out of here, and thank you guys. So do me a favor, please put a like on the channel, because YouTube doesn't like me, because I listen, for all of you who are content creators. Yes, definitely listening. I can't thank you enough for the amount of information. Oh, you're welcome, Irina. No podcast. I like watching you. You got it. I think what you can do is like have these YouTube videos and then put them in a podcast format. I don't know. That's above my pay grade. I can't. But so the I forgot what I was gonna say. I have the memory of a gnat. About the videos being long. Oh, YouTube. If you are a content creator, you know how when you're watching videos, every now and then YouTube will put up a recommendation for the video above. It says, do you recommend this video, or how do you feel about this video? And then it'll give you like some options, like, is it calming, inviting, entertaining, whatever. I'll just ask if you like it. I did that for a video of a controversial person. This was years ago. And so, by then, some of my videos were like getting 10,000 views, 16,000 views, just a couple of videos. Actually, after my videos had taken off, I got that thing and I clicked yes. And curiously, my numbers started trickling in. It was obvious night and day, but I was trying to figure out what was going on. I'm like, am I going live? But then is it going back to private? With the video stat, I couldn't figure out what was going on. And then someone told me who was higher up that had a direct link to people at YouTube that they do track you even if you have like a different account, and they can shadow ban you. So because I said I liked someone and it was entertaining and informative or whatever, it I've been kind of stuck in the 4,000 mark. Plus, it didn't help that a year ago I stopped doing recorded videos, but this had happened before then, well before then. So if you are a content creator, don't give YouTube any information. No information. Just keep scrolling. It will go away. It's a little pop up. It will go away. Just don't do nothing. Don't do nothing. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. So please put a like on the video. Maybe share this with someone, and I will see you guys next week. Maybe twice a week. Is next week Mother's Day? No, because it's just the beginning of May. Anyway, I love you guys, and I'll see you next week. Topic to be determined. Mwah. I love you guys. Bye-bye. Well, shoot, maybe we should just go to 2 hours. It's 1 hour and 51 minutes. Just to see. Y'all want to stay for the next 8 or 9 minutes? Look, it says end broadcast. I'm clicking not yet. Let me see. I got a comment. Hey, I made it to your live. VG, I was just about to get off the live, but I just decided to stay until the 2 hour mark just to have a 2 hour video to see who is like down with me. Please help me in choosing our ELA curriculum for a 4th grader. I love that grade. Between easy daily grammar and fix-it grammar, between the EM spelling and the IEW phonetic zoo. All right, so for grammar, I have it all. Now, fix-it grammar I like because it is literature-based. Easy daily grammar, my kids use it now every now and then because it's easy. And if you don't, grammar is so hard. I have a journalism degree. I mean, I had to write, and you had to know your grammar, spelling, punctuation like that. You had to know all the style books, AP style book, the manuals, Chicago and MLA. You had to do all that stuff, and you had to do it on deadline. So even if you learned all your grammar, you still need to just practice it, just so you're just so you don't have to have a fart moment like I do, and you're trying to recall, okay, is this do I use a serial comma or not, or should I use an Oxford comma in an academic essay, or all that kind of stupid stuff that we have to worry about. So easy or daily grammar, that's the one I told you. I wonder if I have it here. That's like a big Harry Potter, 2 Harry Potter books stacked on top of each other. Let me see if I have one over here. I have most of the curriculum above the laundry, the washer dryer, and in my son's room, and then in their rooms. What's this? Is this it? No. Let's see. No. I don't feel like getting up to go get it. But anyway, it depends on your approach. Now, with easy grammar, daily grammar, they're only going to it's not really teaching you. It will give you a blurb. Let me go grab my son's book real quick. Hold on, y'all. Okay. All right. Now, y'all know I've used a lot of grammar programs. Mainly, we went through well-ordered language, so we're done with that. So I have this just to keep it all fresh because it's really easy. With well-ordered language, it looks like work. It really does look like work. So for this, once we were done with book 2, we didn't need anything beyond that. I was like, well, you know what? We got to keep your skills on deck. This is something that's easy. You wake up in the morning, you can do it. Okay, just do a page. Okay, so it's easy grammar. Now it says teacher edition, and this is how big it is. Now, okay, the kid version, the student version, It's just as big. Just maybe that big. It's big though for a grammar text, right? But here's the thing. Let me just show you a review. And then if you want to do like a test booklet just to test them, you know, maybe like if you're in the doctor's office, or you have, you know, your kids have like soccer or, you know, baseball practice or something, and you have one of your kids in the car, you know, you can give them one of these to do if you want to. But let's see. So this is what I was doing. So your assessments, right? You have your assessments at the beginning. And this is an example. Let me just show you. Now they start with prepositions, which that was a game changer, because once your child understands prepositions and prepositional phrases, when they're dissecting sentences, oh, it makes it so much easier. It's like heating up a butter knife to slice butter versus taking a knife out the freezer with dirt stuck on it, and you stuck the knife in the ground, and then you're trying to cut butter. It's messy and it doesn't go through. Now, say you're starting on pronouns. Here we go. You're on pronouns. Y'all see that? Let me move on this side. Let me stand up so it doesn't look so crazy. Oh, sorry guys. I don't have my oh, what do you call it? Oh my gosh, my memory. I don't have my, what do you call these? Good Lord, I have no memory. What is going on? I don't have, really they're all, oh, here. I didn't hook this up. For the life of me, I can't even remember the webcam. Oh my God. I don't have that, because I could just pick it up and then just do it over here. So I'm sorry about that. So anyway, so you're doing pronouns, right? It doesn't really give you that much. It doesn't teach that much. It's just like a little fast food nugget of, hey, this is a pronoun. And then it gives you a page. In most cases, really, you're just trying to get, this book is so big. You're just trying to get to the point. So this is the cheat sheet for pronouns. There we go. It's kind of centered. That's the cheat sheet for pronouns. This is grade 6 pronouns. Now, once you have that little learning part, you go straight to the work. Now, this is the teacher book, so it has the answers in it, and it also has the student work as well. And then that's what you're doing for the duration of this chapter. Everything on pronouns, okay? So each day, and you'll have 2 kinds of tasks to do. So you'll see here the first, guys, this book is heavy. It's like 500, 600 pages. Hold on. Be still. So you'll have directions up here. Directions up here. And then you have the first task up here, and then the second task right here. Okay. So your child is doing 2 different things on each page most times. Okay. You do have a cumulative review. Okay. And there's a cumulative test, but you'll see you're getting like bare bones information about the part of speech. So if your child has had exposure to it, that's great. But if your child has never learned anything about like the major parts of speech, I think it would be enough. For some kids, they might need more examples or something like that. But I think it should be enough, because my kids had done well-ordered language and another grammar program. So they already, Michael Clay Thompson. So they already knew that. So this is just really just maintenance. But if you're trying to like have this as your main grammar textbook, then be prepared to supplement, especially when you start getting into the trickier aspects of grammar. So this is what it looks like. This is the teacher edition, but it looks just like the student one. And it does vary it up a bit. Well, not too much, but you see a lot of, No, actually, no. What's the other program? There is another program that varies it up so much. No, Daily Grams. I'm sorry. That's what my son's been working out of. Yeah, we switched over to Daily Grams. So this, because it kind of gets monotonous, almost like well-ordered language. The Daily Grams has lots of variety. That's actually my favorite. So who asked that question? BJ or BG? So if I had to choose between easy and daily grammar, I would definitely go with daily grammar. And I'll do a flip through that. Okay. I'll make a note of that. Yeah. And I'll do a comparison between the two. Comparison. Compare. I'm in the wrong pen. Compare easy and daily grammar. Yeah, that would be my choice. And then daily grammar, I think, has less instruction than easy grammar. Okay, just heads up. Fix-it grammar. Fix-it grammar is literature based. So what it does, it'll take a passage from a book, a classical book, or a book of note, and then it will list it. It would that passage, a couple of sentences or whatever. It starts with like one sentence, and then it'll be up at the very top of the page, and then the work is below, and then you go and dissect each line and all of that. I liked it because you were also learning and being exposed to great works of literature. I think they might even have like some more modern stuff in it. I'm almost sure, but it's great. So the only reason why I switched is because that was with my oldest son, and I don't know why I switched. We finished it, but I don't know why we switched. But hey, I would recommend it. So, wait, what was your question again? Oh, and then between the EM spelling, the Evan Moore spelling, and the IEW phonetic zoo. I've never used the phonetic zoo, although I've heard about it and people who liked it, because I taught from a with my children, I taught them from a phonetics place. Okay, everything had to do with phonics. Evan Moore spelling, we've used Evan Moore. Again, my middle son who had autism back when he was younger, and he had so much therapy, and I had to drag, my kids, at least one of my kids with me. Those were things that I would give them every now and then, or if my kids had, some kind of practice or something like that, and I had to drag another kid with me, or it was something where, hey, you got 5 minutes on your hand, just knock this out. So for spelling, here's the thing with it. I wonder if y'all want to see Evan Moore spelling? Oh, we're past 2 hours. Okay, so we're gonna wrap it up, but I already have it written down to do. Let me add in Evan Moore, and then you guys can see the difference. But with Evan Moore spelling, is very highly organized, right? So you have a whole week. That's how Evan Moore bases his things. It's a Monday through Friday kind of thing, and then and it's the same thing. It's like writing and rhetoric. The breakdown is the same, so your child comes to expect what's coming up, and then that gives them a sense of stability, and so they can just focus on doing the work, right? It's not like something changing at 100% one week, and then the next week is at 5%, and then at 20%. It's stable. So with the spelling, so you have your spelling list at the front of the book, and I would print it out because it's in the student book, so they can always like cheat and go back and look at it. So I devised this way where I would take a manila folder. I would tape the folder on the part that opens, or that part that opens. I would tape it. First, I would place it over the page that my child was doing that has the spelling words, and then I would put the manila folder over it. So when my son was doing his work, because you had to copy, say it and copy, and then write it without looking, all that kind of stuff. They couldn't look to the left to see to see the spelling list. So some mom told me that hack like years ago, and it worked. So, and the kids were afraid to kind of raise it up, so it just stayed down. But I'll do a video on that, because that was I liked it, but I didn't feel it helped my child with his spelling. So we went back to All About Spelling, which I liked. But for maintenance, I would do Evan Moore. I love Evan Moore's line of books. Let's see. All right. Can you suggest an online math assessment for elementary grades? So you can go to a couple of these math publishing houses that have assessments, like Singapore Math has assessments. I think they were bought out. They're kind of called, what's Singapore Math called now, y'all? What is Singapore? You I want to say Carson Delosa, that publishing house. I forget what they're called. You might have to go, if you put in Singapore Math, it should probably redirect you. Oh no, actually, hold on. Singapore Math. Beast Academy has math placement or math assessment, which is it's really challenging. Saxon Math. Oh no, it's still Singapore Math, but I know they were bought out because if you look on the back of the book, it has another name. Yeah, it's still on Singapore Math. But anyway, actually, I have a video on math placement tests. Go into my archives. I do like a 20-minute video, 20+ minute video on all the popular math programs with links to the math placement. I think I have Saxon Math, Math Mammoth, Singapore Math, Beast Academy, Matthew C. Yeah, so go check that video out. Give me some more views. But I do have math placement tests on that for elementary grades. Let's see. Zoe says, I love daily grammar. Me too. My oldest is only in the 1st grade, but we're loving it so far. Good. I'm glad you guys are enjoying your curriculum choices. Zoe says, I would definitely recommend Michael Clay Thompson as a spine, then supplementing with easy grammar once you finish level 1 grammar. Yeah, absolutely. Remember, Michael Clay Thompson is a literature-based program for everything. And with Michael, you're not even, wait, are you doing grammar? Yeah. So you're not really doing you're just really reading. Okay, you're reading about grammar, right? And you're not doing anything. There's no application for like a month or two, really. So if you feel your child just has to be doing something, then you can kind of bring in easy or daily grammar if you had to have them do something, or you can do if you were using MCT, you could do that, the book, like Grammar Island, and then when it comes time to do the practice part, just switch over to an easy grammar, a daily grammar, a well-ordered language, or something like that. So lots of ways you can chop it up. Let's see. Have you ever heard of Shirley English? Yes. Thinking about trying that out for 6th grade. I have never used it. I found that parents who were Charlotte Mason based, or their kids had done Montessori or Waldorf or there's another I found, just from my observation, families that were of that kind of mindset with their approach to education, they liked Shirley English. Let me see if I can share my page. So for instance, take like copywork. Copywork. Hold on. Oh, this looks different now. Were they bought out? Let's see. Let me see. Yeah, this. Okay. All right. I'm seeing some of the older books. Yeah, this one, I think this was bought out. Let me see who bought Shirley English. I don't know. I'm just guessing. But the parents that used it, they were hold on. So let me try to share my screen. It's been a Reader's Award for Practical Homeschooling, which I love, that homeschool magazine, 2018, 2019. Let's see. I'm trying to share my screen so you guys can see. Let's see if it's acting better now that I have a full 4 bars. Surely. Entire screen. I'm in. I can share. Okay, let me pull it up. And all right. Can you guys wait? Can you see? Oh, it worked. Okay. So that's surely English, right? And let me go back here so I can move around. All right. Yeah, let's go to homeschool. Let me go back to homeschool. All right. So, homeschool, where are you? I just saw homeschool. Where'd it go? No, this wasn't it. That wasn't it. All right. So, anyway, so I don't have any of the curriculum to show you, but okay. Surely English places special emphasis on, I'm looking at the levels 1 through 6, the student workbook, on parent-child interaction and participation. Charlotte Mason. The children have workbooks, not textbooks, to practice and test their acquired knowledge skills. Contains a jingle section, reference section, practice section, and test section. But here's the thing. It's going to go over grammar, vocabulary, language skills, and a summary. So it's pretty comprehensive. And sample teacher lesson levels. Let's go here. All right, so there you go. Now, this kind of reminds me of Julie Bogart, which is kind of Charlotte Mason, the whole earth, whole child approach, and also kinesthetic. So you're bringing in a lot of different learning styles. So you see here. So like the families that I knew that used this, because we were young, they're they either had their kid in Montessori schools or they were doing Montessori at home, which I started doing Montessori because I was so impressed with it. And I heard about it, but I just didn't get into it. But there you go. So, and it's pretty, it's not rigorous, like hard, boring, rigorous, but it's because it encompasses all the components of ELA. Because who was it that asked about an ELA program? That might be something to check out. So there you go. How do I stop sharing? Okay. All right, I'm going to get out of here in a minute. Let me just finish up with these last couple of questions. Oh, you were talking about for 6th grade. Okay, I don't know about 6th grade. I just know when I was younger, surely English was like, I think there were like a number of cool parents that used it. They had older kids. So their younger kid, who was our first kid's age, they were like, oh, surely English, it's, if you want to stay, because, some parents want to stay with the same educational philosophy. So if you were doing Montessori or Waldorf, chances are when your kids started school, you might do Charlotte Mason. So, and they were talking about Shirley. It's all I remember. Anyway, you're welcome, Tanya. Serenity says, what do you recommend after Dimensions Math 7? High school, regular high school. No, I'm kidding. Now see, the thing with Singapore math, they have 2 sections. They have dimensions. Dimensions starts in middle school. It's very advanced. So really Dimension 7, after Dimension 7, you can start high school math. It says it in your book. So Dimension 7 incorporates elements of algebra. So hold on, I got a book here. So it says when you're done with 7, you can go straight into a 9th grade math program at a school if you wanted to. Let me see here. Dimensions. Dimensions, where are you? Oh, that's Math Mammoth. I'm looking at the binder part. Trying to think. Yeah, I don't feel like going into my son's room because he's using Dimensions. That's how I know this, because my son is in Dimensions. But yeah, so after that, you can go into any high school program. You can go into Forster's algebra. We went into my oldest son went into, I forget how to say his name. Krajak Krzyzewski or whatever is like the hardest math. Oh, now I need to know what it is. What, guys, if you're into like high level math, you know who I'm talking about. It's R. Krzyzewski or something like that. So it's anyway, so you can go into that. You can go into your just regular algebra program. So hold on, I got now it's killing me. Top algebra textbooks from school curriculum. There it is. It's the art of thinking. It was killing me. I can't remember it. The art of problem solving, which is like in the Beast Academy vein, and it's the introduction to algebra by Richard Ruschick, whatever. So you can even go into something like that, which is like the hardest of all algebra books. So think about that. So think about if you're in dimensions, you can go anywhere, baby. It's like if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. If you do dimensions, you can go anywhere. Just pick something that, if you're going to homeschool, just pick something that resonates with your child. Okay. Alternately, there is a teacher on Teachers Pay Teachers, and her business is called All Things Algebra. Her name is Gina. Let me pull that up. I use all of her stuff for my middle son, TPT. Her layout is amazing. I mean, I spent an embarrassing amount. Let me show it to you. Then I'm going to get out of here. All Things Algebra. Wilson. All right. Let me just get to her, and then let me just share my screen really quickly again. All Things Algebra. Hold on, I'm sharing my screen. Now that I got it, I can share it quickly. Okay, so All Things Algebra, entire screen. It's not letting me share now. Wait, maybe my internet is... No, share. It's only letting me share the window. Well, I'll take it. Oh, it's showing the whole screen, like what I see when I look at you guys. Let me see. Oh, that's too messy. Let me remove that. Let me try to reshare it again. Let me try it. Give me one more time, one more chance to try to share it. Share screen. Oh, it's not letting me share the whole thing. I don't know why it does that. All right, well, that's what it looked like. So All Things... Hold on, I'll do it. Well, you know what? Let me just do a video on that. I did a video on one of my favorite TPT sellers, who was Stacy Lloyd, for literature. I'll do one for math. Oh my gosh, her stuff is she is like me. Like if I had to create curriculum, that's exactly how I would do it. All Things Algebra. Again, if you are enjoying this, you're getting some value on this, please put a like on the video. What do you recommend? Okay, I read that one. Hi, Little Pet's Journey. I will be homeschooling a 4th and 7th grader. I'm having trouble choosing an online program. I'm so bad at math and need something that will teach them. Oh, honey, I can give you a lot of programs. Depends on how much do you want to spend and what's your time looking like. Like, do you need something for the semester? Do you want something for the year? Do you want something that's ongoing so you don't feel committed to it? My kids do OutSchool now. But let me tell you what they did in the past. Online. They did Beast Academy online. They did Singapore, which was a cosmic failure because it wasn't really... No, the class was good, but it's just like the format was awful. We did Well Trained Minds Academy. We did... I think my oldest one did pre-algebra. Yeah, I think, yeah. Yeah, that was like in 5th grade. It was crazy. But we try a lot of them. There's the PA, Pennsylvania, PHA, Pennsylvania Homeschoolers Association or something like that. They have some math programs on there, math classes. There's a lot. I think I have a video on online math classes. Let me just make a note to check online math classes. And I really should do that if I don't have it, because a lot of parents don't want to teach math, and I understand it. Online math classes. But right now we like OutSchool, because I found an amazing teacher for both my sons, and one of them you pay weekly, the other you pay upfront. So and they've kind of been in a cohort, which they started when COVID started. So they've been with those same people for like almost 3 years. Well, 2 years. Because when did COVID kind of end? I don't even know. That's another story there. So anyway, so start with that. What grade was your kid in? 4th and 7th grade. So 4th and 7th grade, I would start with OutSchool. If you email me privately at hi at homeschoolknockouts.com. Wait, is that it? I have so many. It's in my description box. Whatever my email is down there, email me and I can email you privately some teachers that I recommend off of OutSchool. Would you mind sharing your eBay selling page if you have one? No, I used to be a seller like 15 years ago, but I don't have an eBay selling page. I do have one on Etsy, but it's not active because for the past year I've been working on this project. But once I'm done with this project in May, I have so much material and I'm just going to flood the market with everything. And then I'll share that with you guys. Let's see. Outdoor. Yeah. OutSchool. Yes, they're live teachers. A lot of teachers will have a flex option, which is like pre-recorded. I always do live, but outschool.com, Little Pet's Journey. There's so many great teachers. You can email me if you want a list. Because my son did, you're in the right age grade. You're in the age bracket that I had my kids. Well, not 4th, but I know that those teachers also taught 4th. So definitely some good teachers on OutSchool. All right, so it's 2:22. I'm going to get out of here. You're welcome, Little Pet's Journey. So I'm out of here. I love you guys. I will see you next week. And please put a like on the video if this helped you out. This lets YouTube know that even though I like that person that they shadow banned me on, there are people who still like to listen to me. So help me out there. I will see you guys next week. I love you. And homeschool on. Homeschool on.